So here's the situation. Your employee has requested accommodations for a mental health condition. So what do you do now? First, let's start with what is a mental health accommodation? A workplace accommodation is any adjustment or support provided to an employee to help them manage a mental health condition while maintaining job performance. In real words, it means you're changing their job so that they can still be productive. Examples of accommodations are flexible work hours, modified duties, or access to a quiet space for breaks. The goal is to ensure the employee can work effectively while protecting their well being. Workplaces have a duty to provide reasonable accommodations for a mental health condition. If you're feeling unsure about how to provide accommodations for a mental health problem, you're not alone. Managers often struggle with workplace accommodations for mental health. I will often hear managers say things like, I know what to do if someone has a broken arm, but what do I do when they tell me they have depression or anxiety or OCD? This is why knowing the symptoms is so important because you're adjusting based on the symptoms that are interfering with their work. So don't get caught up in the label of things. For example, if they get tired easily, maybe they need a shorter day. If they have trouble concentrating, perhaps a private space is needed for them to take more breaks. You're trying to have a collaborative discussion with the employee, focusing on symptoms and accommodations. Something you're not required to do is to make other people change their behavior to accommodate the symptoms. For example, an employee with OCD has symptoms about cleanliness and wants everyone to keep the kitchen spotless to their standards. As a psychologist, I'm letting you know this is not a good idea to try to get everyone else to do this. Even if it's well intentioned, this doesn't help the person's illness, and it can create a lot of resentment with other colleagues, which can backfire on the individual. So instead, focus on what the individual with OCD should do differently. They may need a quiet space to employ their strategies when their symptoms arise. They may want to keep their own space as clean to a high standard, and maybe they can have extra time to do their tidying. But this task should not be given to other people, just the person with the symptoms.